The cursed drum. In the stillness of the night, loud drumming shattered the silence. Amara's heart raced as the sound grew louder, each beat carrying an eerie vibration. She knew what was coming. The village of Umuagu had fallen into chaos because of that cursed drum. She clasped her hands tightly and prayed, "Let it not be me next." Long ago, in the heart of Umuagu, there lived a poor farmer named Ojadike. He worked tirelessly on his small farm, but no matter how hard he toiled, his harvests were barely enough to feed his family. One fateful day, while hunting in the thick forest of Ukon, Ojadike stumbled upon an old drum lying under a twisted tree. The drum was strange, its body was carved from dark wood with glowing patterns that seemed alive. The animal's skin stretched across it was smooth, yet warm, as though it pulsed with life. Drawn to its mystery, Ojadike struck it lightly. To his shock, roasted yams, pots of soup, and gourds of palm wine appeared before him. His mouth fell open in disbelief. "A drum that gives food," he exclaimed. He struck it again, and fine clothes and cowries materialized. Laughing in joy, Ojadike carried the drum back to the village, unaware of the doom he had brought with him. At first, the drum was a blessing. Ojadike shared its gifts with his neighbors, and soon, he became a hero in the village. The people praised him, calling him Ojadike the provider. Celebrations filled the air as the villagers enjoyed the abundance brought by the drum. But strange things began to happen. One evening, after a great feast, a child disappeared. The next day, several villagers' farms were mysteriously destroyed, their crops turned to ash. At night, shadows danced near Ojadike's hut, and whispers filled the air, though no one was there. "Ojadike, this drum, it is not ordinary," said Ineka, the village elder. "You must be careful. Such power comes at a price." Ojadike ignored the warnings. "The drum has brought us nothing but blessings," he argued. One night, Ojadike played the drum to summon more riches. Instead of food and gifts, a dark cloud poured out of the drum, spreading across the village. Crops withered instantly, and the livestock fell ill, whilst the river that provided the village with water dried up overnight. Panic spread through Umuagu. The villagers gathered at Ojadike's compound, demanding answers. "This drum has brought disaster upon us," they shouted. "You must destroy it." Ojadike was torn. The drum had saved his family from hunger, but now it was clear that it carried a curse. Reluctantly, he promised to take the drum far away and bury it. As Ojadike ventured deep into the forest to bury the drum, it began to beat on its own. The sound was haunting, like a wail from another world. Startled, he dropped it and tried to cover it with soil, but the drum resisted, rising back to the surface. "Leave me alone," Ojadike shouted, sweat pouring down his face. He grabbed a rock and smashed it against the drum, but the drum remained unbroken. Instead, it let out a deafening roar, sending Ojadike flying backward. The spirit of the drum appeared, a towering figure with glowing eyes and a voice that shook the earth. "You dare to destroy me," it bellowed. "I am the spirit of greed and desire. As long as humans crave more than they need, I shall never be destroyed." Terrified, Ojadike fled, leaving the drum behind. Years passed and the drum was forgotten. But one day, a curious young man named Ifena, struggling with poverty, stumbled upon the drum while hunting. Like Ojadike, he struck it and wealth appeared before him. Ignoring the old tales, he carried it back to the village, thinking he had found a treasure. The cycle began again, first fortune, then misfortune. This time, the disasters were wars, floods, wildfires, and strange illnesses plagued the village. The elders decided to gather and destroy the drum once and for all. The villagers took the drum to the riverbank where they planned to burn it. As the fire roared, the drum let out a piercing scream, and the spirit appeared once more. "You cannot rid yourselves of me," it thundered. "I am born from your greed. As long as you desire more than you need, I shall always return." Realizing the truth, the villagers vowed to change their ways. They promised to share their resources and live contentedly with what they had. As they made this vow, the spirit of the drum faded, and the cursed drum turned to ash. From that day on, the people of Umuagu lived peacefully, never seeking shortcuts to wealth. The story of the cursed drum was passed down to remind future generations of the dangers of greed and the importance of contentment.